As Native people, we go 4 days without food and water to remind ourselves how important water is. Because remember, our bodies are mostly water. And without water, we die. So why would anybody want their children to die? I cannot understand that whole common sense. So this pipeline will go underneath the Missouri River. When it breaks, because it will break, it'll pollute all the way down the Missouri into the Mississippi, all the way to the Gulf. Who has a right to kill that many people? Oh wait, who has the right to kill that much wildlife, animals, plants, medicines? I just don't even think that people understand the whole concept of it all.
Standing Rock became the front line for every single environmental issue. It was 7 hours or 8 hours or whatever it was, but it didn't seem like that. I mean, I didn't even realize how cold it was. It wasn't until I remember getting back to my tent and taking stuff off that I had like frozen on the inside of my coat. But you didn't, while you were in the moment and while you were seeing this, you couldn't believe what you were seeing. It was like you were in a war zone. But it was a war zone with weapons on one side. And the things that I've seen don't ever leave me. The things that I heard that night will still haunt me for the rest of my life.
They were, you got the sense like the police there, they were waging war on those people. That's what it felt like.
You were hit a couple times.
Oh yeah, I took one in the shoulder and one in the leg. I got pepper sprayed twice. I took 5 of the wonderful little grenades, 3 stinger grenades and 2 concussion grenades. It's incredible out here. It's the closest thing to being in a war without actually being in one.
Down because of the situation. I just got here.
Yeah, but they don't know who you are. They've given a direct order now.
Okay,
Right
here.
Just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Kristen. The point of today is we're trying to take back that hill out there in the distance. We have 14 sacred burials up there. And they're trying to take back that hill because that's our land. They're trying to keep us, preventing us from getting over on that side of the river. So right now what they're doing is they're macing everybody and shooting rubber bullets at them.
So we're being told they're macing and shooting rubber bullets down this way. I'm doing my best to get in there as quickly as possible by bike. You can hear in the distance on the megaphones the police are saying that everyone will be arrested for criminal trespass. And so just going to see to scope out the situation. So you see people being pepper sprayed and maced. Did you swim over, man?
No, just swim.
You swam?
Come here, you stupid.
You want to say what happened?
Right off. You gotta
You want to say what happened?
Thank you. Yeah, but
cold.
Yeah, no, it reflects
Cold?
his body heat.
What are you trying to do on the other side, though?
Save our water, man.
I know, but are you trying to get up onto the land? What's
No, we trying to do. All we trying to do is block these motherfucking fish from on our land.
I hear you.
Try to protect our water and our people, you know.
Cool, thank you, man. You cold, man? Thanks.
They're never gonna be as proud of Mini Latone! We're all unarmed! Stand down! Stand down! Everybody's unarmed here! Stand down! You're on four land! You're out of your jurisdiction in this water! Move back!
The only meaning is to poison sacred water, not only for indigenous, but for millions of non-indigenous. You're poisoning the water for the trees, the standing silent nation. Even your cattle will go down.
I'm Tushka Humak Shilap with the National Association for the Advancement of Indigenous People. This morning I did visit the legal camp up at Standing Rock, and I am totally displeased as to what I found. I understand that they're planning to move forward in filing a civil action under 1983. A civil action under 1983 does nothing for these people. It does nothing for their lands. These are foreign nationals. Therefore, they should be treated as foreign nationals in the international venue under just cogent for environmental racism and apartheid. That's what's going on right here. And those people up there in that tent, they know that. So those are COINTEL operatives, as far as I'm concerned, that's leading these people down a path that's going to get them to nothing.
Come on, over here. Hurry up.
There's no permit to be there. It is our right to be able to peacefully assemble. It is our right to protest against pollution. You have no right to be there. Retreat to Bismarck.
Blessed are the peacemakers. Those of you that are Christians or believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember that he says he's no respecter of man. You, me, them. Remember that. Remember that Jesus Christ is the ultimate person that leads the way. I don't hate you. I'm glad you're here. I put my life on the line for 9 years in law enforcement. And I'm glad you're taking my picture. My name is Joe Tomahawk. And I'm here to help you and pray.
Wild Oglala. I come from the people of Crazy Horse. I come from the band. My family is Blackout. And I'm here because we need water. It's sacred to us. I'm not a Christian. I'm straight up Wild Oglala, out of control.
How long have you been out there?
Well, I was out here since September. I left and I came back about a week ago. And I came back into camp this morning and we're on lockdown, so I can't leave.
Yeah, just think it right. Just get in more close. Hey, we need help here.
We are not trespassing! Know that I come to you in the name of Jesus Christ as a Native American, former law enforcement officer.
Why are you here?
Your words are full of lies! You've overstayed your welcome.
Shots fired.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
You all right? Are you right?
Josh.
Get a medic.
Get a medic.
Get a medic.
Take her to a medic.
know, Dakota Access will start at Williston and go all the way down to Illinois. And then the Midland Pipeline will connect to Williston to the Dakota Access Pipeline from the tar sands. And as you know, the whole idea is to push tar sands through, flush the pipes with water, and then push the sweet crude through, then flush the pipes with water.
Our job was to manage the separator units for the wellhead. When the well starts, what comes out is a mixture of water, sand, natural gas, and oil. We ran the separator units to separate them all off where they're supposed to go. Also, we did pressure and flow test monitoring to maintain the well pressure and make sure everything was the way it was. The acids that they're using in these frac, while they're calling it salt water, this is more than just heavy salt water. The caustic compounds that were in those tanks was so powerful, if it ruptured, I'd be dissolved in seconds.
No, it's only that Bakken oil, right? It's that Bakken oil that they're putting through this pipeline, right? That's super corrosive, right? Like Bakken oil always leaks.
Oh, well, the white people don't want to have a possible break. They don't want to deal with the possible pollution, which, by the way, is already happening.
And this water specifically downstream affects millions and millions of people. So it doesn't make logical sense to me as a scientist to put this type of resource at risk.
We were making about 2,100 a week. Supervisors are making about 3,200 a week. So the money's there, but that's why the money's there. Because of the fact that you are doing some really evil shit.
So they profit whether it works, they profit whether it's finished, they profit whether it leaks or not, they profit.
I keep on saying, where are they getting this water? Second, once the water is flushed too, the water is no good for anything or anybody. The water is then poisoned. I don't think people understand. Do you have anybody in your family who's dying of cancer? That's the first thing I ask people. Why? Because the water is poisoned. So when you look at the whole scheme of everything, you have these great roots that come out of a tree, and then you have this giant tree, and then you have these big branches that come out of the tree. That is the river. So right now the roots are dying in the Gulf of Mexico. The mother tree, the Mississippi, is dying. And so we have this branch that comes out of the Mississippi called the Missouri. It is sick, but if we can save it, it can bring life to the whole tree and reconstitute the roots and make life again. I don't understand why people don't understand that.
So it looks like the militarized police are headed out this way to come talk to those on the bridge here. What's the deal with the semis?
Just sitting there.
Sitting on the bridge.
Huh?
Sitting on the bridge.
Well, I understand it's sitting on the bridge. Not taking the pipe guns out.
I'm not.
Not today.
What's that?
Not today.
Well, it comes up to DOT. When DOT says they can go, they'll go.
Well, how are they going to get through this?
What's that?
How are they going to get through this?
We can take that down as fast as it went up.
Okay.
We just need the order.
Why is
You
it
know
here?
what I mean? But those trucks don't come out of there.
Why is it here?
You guys said you wanted to open for emergency personnel, but you closed it up even worse.
Okay.
Okay?
They're not coming out today.
Well, you make us nervous when you bring a semi out there like that, okay?
Okay.
They start getting tugged on, they start getting pulled on, it's going to get pretty tense, okay? For everybody involved.
Yep.
All right?
We know.
Those trucks don't come out.
They were supposed to come out last Monday.
Stay up front or either. Don't hook any chains to them, okay? Doesn't have to be a big deal today. You guys got a protest going on in town. Everything will be peaceful.
I know what we're doing.
You guys decide about the peacefulness about this. You guys decide.
Really?
Okay?
You're the one showing up with shotguns and setting up a formation?
We ain't coming up to this line. You guys are the ones that are coming up to this line with a semi-truck.
We're just here to protect the people.
It's not even close to these trucks. It's on the bridge.
Don't hook onto those trucks. I'm just telling you.
Not
I
today.
said it wasn't.
I know, but don't.
What, you don't
As
believe
easy
me?
as that.
Look.
Didn't you guys say you
There's 60 feet between the trucks and these.
Didn't you? That whole bridge has got to be inspected. The whole work's got to be done.
We were told it's already
It's
been
above
inspected.
us.
You got 21,000 pounds parked on it right now.
From the state.
Yeah, we were told it was already inspected.
When we're told they can come down, they'll come down.
Okay.
We haven't been told they're coming down, okay?
Yeah. Like, I really believe that.
Trucks don't come out of there.
Not today.
That's what you told them elders. You said you move them.
Yeah. Emergency personnel have to
Word
go
is
an extra
everything.
45 minutes to get to the hospital because you have your roadblock up.
Not today. Maybe tomorrow.
They said the DOT has to give it.
What do you think they'll do?
1, 2 formation! 2 formation! Move!
You're so cute.
Come on, quicker, man. You're supposed to be quicker at that. Let's go. Move it. Double time. Let's go. God damn, that was the first thing we learned in the Corps. Move quick.
I mean, they're just on edge. I mean, they have locked us on. Like, this is just a recreation of the reservation system. I mean, they're restricting our movement. They're only allowing us to be within the camps. And, you know, we had a relative that just pulled the truck up just to test the waters to see what the response would be, and it freaks them out. I mean, it's just absurd. This is the whole scenario is absurd, and just reinforces what we say as Indigenous peoples, that, you know, colonization hasn't ended. This process of imperialism, where we are regulated, and our ability to decide what happens to our land, our water, our bodies, our futures is in the hands of settler society and obviously an overtly militarized law enforcement. But we stand strong and committed to peaceful civil disobedience and stopping this pipeline.
Explain to me how it is ever okay to use terror as a tactic. Explain to me how it is ever okay to have people fearful, fighting for the security of their lives, of their safety in their own homes, on their own land. And this, a lot of people might have the question of, isn't this U.S. land? I'm sorry, that is treaty land. That is land that has always been treaty land. And that is why we are occupying that land. Oceti specifically. Please tell me when it should be okay to use terror as a tactic on a human being, let alone a human being that is peacefully trying to protect something.
They had all these different types of things to kind of protect themselves from being pepper sprayed or shot. As all that is going on, at the time, when people started getting pepper sprayed on the other side of the river, they were trying to people who were coughing and kind of being incapacitated were trying to get back to our side. Because the bridge was now gone, there was no way for them to do that.
A massive amount of people have gathered, and of course we've got the militarized police on the other side. Once again, we've got cars and trucks, horses, everything running every which way, and yeah, so hope it stays peaceful.
So basically what's going on is the water protectors are making camp at the base of Turtle Island here. Up top we've got the militarized police and airplanes flying around, and they just tear gassed us. I see one of their boats coming over again, so we gotta watch out for them. This guy down there. Things are extremely hectic, and tear gas, if you haven't been tear gassed, is no joke. That stuff stung, burned the lungs. Something else.
I really don't understand. Why would you take that oath and then stand up there and hurt your own people? Spiritually, your grandmother would be standing here watching you stand up there. Would she be proud? I don't think so. God is watching. The angels are up there. They are. You know they are. Maybe the angels have visited you recently. Maybe Jesus has visited you recently. He tries to open your eyes. He wants you to see what we see. He wants you to know what we know.
Respect the treaty! Are you of your word? Keep your word! The treaty is your government's word!
I'm a United States veteran! United States Army veteran! You said to God, I will protect a people. I will protect the United States.
Treaty of Laramide!
Look at you! You're protecting oil! You're protecting money! Greed! You're working for the wrong side! You want to hurt us? We come from all over the world. I'm a United States Army veteran, and I know your oath. I know what you're supposed to do, and this isn't it.
Tear gas. There's tear gas.
Hey, you need to get up right now, okay? Alright, we can help you out. We're going over here, come on.
We think about freedom, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of expression, but when it comes down to it, it can be a challenge when other people don't share our vision of the bigger picture. And I think that was both the success and shortcomings of the camp. It was a success, obviously, because we had all different genres that came together and made the camp into something great. By putting together, or putting aside differences, and coming together to build a framework, to build something big, something good.
Also about a marginalized and forgotten population standing up to the system that's been oppressing them for hundreds of years. Standing Rock is about broken promises from our government and about land theft and forced poverty. Oh, Standing Rock is just about humans who are fed up with being dehumanized.
Well, and also just the charges that they're putting on us, the false allegations are so inflated, and it's just a means of suppressing us and intimidating us. Yeah. And it's absolutely tactical. To accuse me of criminal conspiracy to endanger by fire, which is a Class C felony, the most severe,
Right.
is absurd. And then based on that, they were able to hold us in jail for 3 days, strip search us, take our DNA. That's serious stuff to accuse someone of. And then also along with that, they accused us of rioting and engaging in a mob and public nuisance. So those are the charges. And they accused people of a lot of things that day that are false and have been throwing false allegations on a ton of people. And that's the same day that Red Fawn got arrested. And in my opinion, you know, they have totally framed her, and she is innocent. Just like they put false charges on me, they put false charges on her. And they're targeting women, they're targeting leaders. And it's tactical, it's psychological warfare.
My name is Freedom Thompson, and we run supplies down every 2 weeks to stand with Standing Rock. We're here because we do believe water is life, our earth is a life, and this is the only place we have to live. And if we don't protect it, then where else are we going to live at? And this is essentially what we have to do to stand for what's right and what we need to protect our generations right now and for our future generations.
They keep saying this bridge is unsafe. That rig right there is 21,000 pounds by itself. They said they wanted this road open for emergency personnel to go through, like ambulance and stuff out of 48. Now they got to go all the way around. They leave this stuff here and they said, we're going to clear it. It'll be clear by Monday, so they got till Monday to clear it. If not, that's why Betty's here.
This is Betty?
That's Betty. It's
Okay.
Betty Boop.
Gotcha.
There's an action, there's an action.
treaty land. This is our land. This is a public road. You're blocking the public road. What? Don't aim your gun at me. You're not going to shoot me. Don't aim your gun. I'm unarmed. What kind of man are you?
This is your children's water too. Remember that. We are peaceful people. It's not a game.
What, are you going to shoot an unarmed person? Huh?
is Megan. I
walk
basically think that vulnerability is going to be important here. I think that opening up a dialogue on suffering is going to be one of the only ways we find to bring people together.
Right.
And I just think that this situation, in particular, aside from the moral and legal aspects of it, that if you have any eye on the engineering or entrepreneurial world and you see that they are looking towards and creating more efficient and better ways of transportation, that this isn't about the betterment of people or any necessity. This is
You mean the oil?
yeah, this is greed, and it's just a detriment to life. And it's the more research you do on it, you find out what billionaires are profiting from this kind of thing. It's not fun stuff. And so my question for these police officers is just that, I mean, there are people that die every day. There are people that have fought for their freedom, and for them to turn their life or turn their weapons onto people that have fought for the country and are sitting in prosthetic offices right now without 2 legs or the best care. They should have the best care, and they don't. Greed as a whole, and a lack of humanity, a lack of trying to mend suffering is a huge problem. But I'll be out here a while, I think. If I can make it.
Taking it?
Yeah. I'm just gonna sit out here.
Okay. Sure.
Sorry for the obvious of hopping up on you. No, you're fine. What's up? Alright. I don't know. Be really careful because there's like lots of sharp shit. Yeah. If you just help me like push up and get my foot on there, then I'll totally be able to climb it. It'd be easier if we open the door. I don't know. I think I might need it.
All that broken glass.
Yeah. The roof might be your best option. I'm up. Yeah. Thank you.
Right on.
I appreciate it. I'd like to hear what they have to say, or what they have to ask.
How you guys doing?
Good, how are you all?
Good. Not too bad. You know you're sitting on state property?
I'm pressed. I'm trying not to speak, but
I'm not sure that's completely true.
Yeah, those are state-owned vehicles.
Okay.
You guys are probably in a bad position sitting over there along razor wire.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to move along. We're giving you some time there.
Is protest legal?
It absolutely is.
So
Absolutely
what's
is.
the problem with me sitting here?
Well, I didn't say there's a problem with it. I said you're sitting on state property and you're in a kind of a bad position there, sitting along razor wire.
I don't think I'll fall or anything. And I don't plan on moving much. So, and at least until I want to leave. So, I don't think it'll be an issue.
Well, just keep that in mind. Something happens, you're kind of in a tight spot there. If you would happen to slip, it'd be a little difficult for somebody to get in there and provide assistance, and you are sitting on state property. Just keep that in mind.
What does me sitting on state property mean?
Well, that's not your vehicle. That vehicle belongs to the state of North Dakota. Just understand the parameters.
Then would you tell me...
Ma'am, I'm not going to debate this with you.
No, I'm not debating. I'm just wondering about the treaties, because I'm under the impression...
No, I'm not here to discuss treaties. I'm just telling you, you're sitting
Telling me
on
on
state property and you're sitting along razor wire. Just be aware of that, okay?
All right. I would say that I think the only thing that would make me slip is if someone wants to hurt me, so I'd not do that. That'd be nice.
Do you have an answer for her sign? What are you doing with life?
And he told me that I was, I don't know what he said about not wanting to debate me. I just wanted to ask him the question because I don't understand the situation, right?
So this is a little patch of land that they are protecting. Hey, can you give me any word why they're being arrested?
He was maced and denied care for about 25 minutes.
Maced and denied care for 25 minutes. Do you know why they're being arrested? Can you tell me?
Yeah. Failure to display, or failure to comply with lawful command and trespass.
Oh shit.
I got
Jesus, really?
Time to go.
Okay. They mean business here. Sorry, guys. Those are legal observers. The cops are telling them to push along, which is doubly ironic.
We have a lot of our vehicles that the tires have been slashed and damaged. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go back there and start getting our vehicles. If you guys could give us a little bit of time so we can get vehicles out of the way, that'd be great. A lot of officers aren't comfortable with you guys walking up behind us. I think that's rightfully understood. So just hang tight a little bit, let us get our vehicles, and you guys can come get yours.
I don't have an official count right now, but we know that it's over 30.
30 arrests?
Yeah, more than that.
Okay.
Somewhere in that 30 range.
And do you know the charge?
I believe it'll be more, most of them will be for criminal trespass and engaging in a riot.
Engaging in a riot, wow, okay. So what you're looking at on the right is a huge police force going to meet the water protectors on the left. But so you can hear the police chanting out their marching orders, and in the distance the water protectors screaming. Some of them are war calls, some sounded like cries of fear, but I don't see any violence as of yet. Water protectors are here lining up here on the Dakota Access Pipeline. As you can see, there's construction down this way. More are coming to join down this direction to engage in peaceful action. Truck behind you. Truck, look out, look out, look out!
It's stuck, it's stuck, it's stuck. All together. Back up. Together. Let's do it, guys. We got this. We're not going to get on them. Strong. Oh, strong.
He's got baseball bat. Sir, I'm from the press. May I approach you?
Get the fuck back now.
Just asking.
Can't eat it, bro. Water is life! 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 Mini Wachoni! Water is life! Mini Wachoni! Water is life! We're all working people, man. And we're not making any money for ourselves today. You guys
You're
are
on his property. Get out. Now.
Can't do it. No.
Same with us.
I hear you. I got you.
Also, be advised, we are live streaming you guys right now.
Woo! That's great.
My mother's bedridden from the chemicals that get spilled into the water from oil spills. My mom is bedridden from it. Do you have children? Do your
is our land and your
Poison.
land.
Hey guys, your pipe's in the ground. You're a day late and $1 short.
Never give up hope.
What are you protecting? Join us. Getting paid time and a half ain't worth it, man.
You guys are getting paid.
Whether you beat me today or not, you know in your hearts, bro, that clean water is what we have to have. You guys know it's wrong. You gotta know it's wrong.
You're all gonna be arrested when the cops get here, so.
Still wrong, it doesn't make it right.
Cops are gonna be here and you're all gonna get arrested.
That's okay. This is wrong what you're doing. We're not against you as human beings, we're against what you're doing.
You guys think the baseball bats are really needed?
Are you the landowner here? Sir, this your land? Are you guys working for them for the construction site?
You say something about the shots that were fired a couple days ago from someone who worked at Dapple. 7 gunshots from a 9mm pistol. One was a handgun pointed at a young woman. Can you respond to that show of force? Anything? Do you know who did that? What? Gunshots were fired from someone who drove into the Dapple behind protected by cops. There's a lot of reports that a lot of money has been paid to landowners for Dapple to go through. How much money was paid? Get out of here.
You know what people are saying about what happened, right? I mean, you don't.
You are our people. You are.
But I mean,
Back up. You're getting too goddamn close to me.
a guy was popping off shots. You don't care about that?
I don't care about you people. You don't get it. You're fucking just scum of the earth. Go fucking live somewhere else.
The irony coming out of your mouth is hilarious.
You don't care that you look like cowards with those bats? And one of the guys carrying a wrench menacingly? And the guy, blasting down the road in the truck?
Whatever, dude.
I'm just telling you what's popping up on the live feed.
You're wasting your fucking time. Pipes in the ground.
And the politicians of North Dakota have sent their armed forces and armed forces from other states to come and violently brutalize the water protectors for months. And they have not felt our presence here in their homes. So from now on, they won't feel us.
Hey, are you guys Dapple?
No.
No? Okay, just curious. My friends are saying you are Dapple security.
What?
Yeah. Are you for the pipeline or against it?
For.
Yeah, so you're a Dapple guy. What do you guys think of all this?
I think it's great.
What?
I think it's great.
Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So you support the anti-Dapple?
Oh yeah, it's stupid. I mean, we don't need pipelines.
Are you being serious or are you?
I'm being dead serious.
Okay. Walking down the front. I'm in peace. Just coming down to see what's happening here. Everyone comes in peace. Remember that. They all have families, just like you do. Remember, don't hurt them.
Who are you protecting? Are you protecting us? From what? From drinking the oil?
From Rosser. So you don't get hit by a car.
Yeah, sure. I believe you.
Is that what the issue is, sir?
Yeah, that's one of our busiest arteries. It's Rosser.
Wouldn't it be?
If it was to come down to the federal building, the federal building's right here.
Wouldn't it be easier to just let them through?
No.
Okay.
Because then we got to move down to Maine, which is our second busiest. And we have to keep doing that, and it just keeps resource after resources.
Yeah, resources.
You want to protest? This is your protest site.
Isn't it?
I'm pressed, sir.
Okay, this is the protest site.
Fair enough.
Hi, so it's been a couple days since I've made a video, and the reason for that is I've been without my devices, and I'm going to get to that, why that is in a minute. But long story short, I was walking on a public road the other day here at Standing Rock. Obviously, we're here against the Dakota Access Pipeline, otherwise known as DAPL. And I was on a public road near a DAPL site when I was approached by DAPL employees, and then boxed in by a couple mercenaries who pull up in a truck, basically saying I was over the line. I was over the line, when in reality, I was on a public road. They were saying I needed to get on the other side of the fence, but, really, I couldn't even move. It didn't matter because I was boxed in. They got out a video camera. What they were trying to do was try to make me go onto their property and incriminate myself in the process, which I wasn't down with that. And so what happened was they tackled me, twisted my arms up, did pile drivers with their knees to my back, beat me up in every way, shape, and form that they could think of, including smashing my head on the ground. Obviously, they're not okay with it didn't matter that I have a press badge. This is our First Amendment right. We should have freedom of religion, press, and speech in general. This is the First Amendment, people. But we've got mercenaries on the roads of America just snatching people up.
This guy hasn't done anything either.
Help! Help! Get back! Fuck you! Get back! Get back! Not here to interfere. You're going to go! Nature! No! 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 Help! I'm being kidnapped!
He hit his head. His head is bloodied. Be nice to him. His head is bloodied. His head is bloodied. His head is hurt.
Get on the street!
His head is hurt.
Get on the street!
I'm on the street. His head is hurt. Be gentle.
Get back!
I'm on the street. His head is bloody. His head is bloody.
Military service! Get a spit some. I have been.
His head is bloody.
Military service! I have panic attacks from military service! Get on the street! I have panic attacks from military service! Off the street! Off the street! Off the street! Off the street!
The cops are saying get in the street, then say on the sidewalk. They can't really seem to make up their mind what's going on. This guy's yelling.
Help! Hospital! Help! You dislocated my shoulder! You dislocated my shoulder! Help! Help! You dislocated my shoulder! Hospital! Hospital!
That's him in the brown.
Help! Hospital! Help! Hospital! Help!
Just step back. Oh, I don't think so. They're trying to just get him to the
Help! They dislocated my shoulder! I picked the flower. You arrested me?
So they've bloodied this guy. He's asking for a medic. He says he's a vet. Now they're covering his head in this mask.
We have vehicles going to be leaving. We don't want you to get hurt. Just get on the sidewalk across the street.
Trying to find a safe way to go. Where do I go?
Right across the street. It's pretty simple.
But what happens sometimes then is they come up, and a lot of the times the militant ones will disguise themselves in there, and the next thing we know, what we thought was going to be peaceful or prayerful, now they're coming for us.
When a corporation like Energy Transfer Partners and Kelsey Warren can pay off a police department like he did at Standing Rock and promise to reimburse them for everything they did to us, and he's doing it in Trans-Pecos Pipeline right now. He's paid off the sheriffs and the local police in Alpine, Texas to be there protecting the pipeline, right? So when a corporation can buy the police, right, and then when the police have been militarized thanks to Homeland Security, and West Fargo, North Dakota Police Department was there dressed all in camouflage and armored Hummers with LRAD sound cannons that are illegal to use in Palestine because they've declared torture. They're using all this stuff on the civilians, and it's when you become a police officer, you take an oath to protect and serve the people, right? The Supreme Court ruled that corporations are people, okay? Any, grade schooler can tell you that a corporation is not a human being.
So I'm here down at the barricade, and I just wanted to point out that it seems as though chains have been added to the vehicles here. You can see them all padlocked, fresh and shiny new, latched over here to the concrete barriers.
So the police have met us, peaceful water protectors, with water cannons, multiple cushion grenades at close range right into crowds of people. So we pushing shield walls, lots of tear gas, huge clouds of it, people trying to scatter, make it over the bridge, falling off it. They're creating a real life hazardous situation. We're not doing anything to them except trying to clear the road. So it's dangerous out there, and they're really not doing their job protecting the people.
How is shooting civilians with rubber bullets protecting and serving? How is spraying people with water below freezing temperatures protecting and serving?
This isn't freezing cold weather, people. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing here.
When I got there, I just smelled the tear gas and the pepper spray in the air. I seen the semi truck trying to move one of the trucks, and at that time, the chain snapped, and I just kind of took a step back, and I thought, this is gonna be one hell of a night.
He's saying we are not afraid.
I ain't going nowhere. This is my home. You invaded our home. You're on the Dakota land. I ain't going nowhere. I don't have to step back. My grandpas were here first. Before you were. No, I ain't going nowhere. No. This is my home.
My first time ever having a seizure. I was shot with a tear gas canister on the chest. I thought it was a flashbang or whatever the heck they were throwing. So I closed my eyes and I covered my ears and I took a deep breath. When I took a deep breath, I realized and I tasted it, what it was. I took a deep breath of like this yellow smoke of tear gas. I couldn't breathe. Then I remember turning around, and on the left side of me, when I finally opened my eyes, the first thing that I saw was something had landed on my left side, and something landed right in front of me, and on my right side. All those three canisters were concussion grenades, which all went off simultaneously. The left one went off first, then the one on the right, then the one in the front. I was completely disoriented.
I'm asking you. Just step back! That's her problem!
Now listen, you can stand and yell at us all you want. All I'm asking you is not touch one.
I didn't touch you, you tell him to step back!
Hey! What are you doing?
Back up!
Back up! What are you doing?
You don't have to back up!
Stop coward!
Guys, it was a... Really? Holy, come on!
You need help?
You all right?
Don't do it! Stop shooting! These are unarmed people! We don't have helmets on! If you hit somebody in the head, they could die! If you hit somebody in the head, they could die! Stop!
Dude, are you all right? Come on, stop! He's down! He's down! Come on. Come on, man.
Stop fire! You started
What are we doing? We're not doing anything! Stop shooting! Don't shoot at me! Stop shooting! Stop shooting! Stop shooting! Do not shoot that gun! Do not fire that gun! Do not! Stand for peace! Stand for justice! What are you doing? Stand for peace! Come on! Okay, get up, Lynn.
Can I ask what the purpose of that is, officer? Well, what's the purpose? You're just squirting pepper spray for no reason. Cover yourself, guys. So just so everyone understands what's going on here, basically we've got two folks here on their knees, basically praying, and we've got cops coming over and pepper spraying for utterly no reason. Utterly no reason. That's what's going on here.
I understand why you're here, but it's wrong, and it's evil. Corporations are running this country. If that's not evident right now, I don't know what's going to prove it to you. This is not a democracy, this is a fascist state. Hey, stop! Stop that right now!
Please stop!
Tell them to stop!
They're medics! They're medics to go!
Where I was, I just knew that I had to keep moving away from the tear gas smoke. That whole night, I didn't really remember who I was until almost morning time. I didn't remember where I was from. I didn't remember who I was. And until one of the reporters had interviewed me, and he went out and got the rest of the International Indigenous Youth Council, told him that I was there. And then he told me my name, and that's when a lot of things started coming back to me. Bruises because of the canister. It was shot from at least less than 10 feet away. The officer was a few feet away from me, and he shot it from, I don't know, I think it was like a grenade launcher or something. And he shot it, like, it arched and it hit me in the chest. And it hit me pretty bad. I had the bruise for about a week. And just a foggy memory.
God wants us to love each other, respect each other, take care of this world together.
Together. You're meant to do it together.
God will forgive you, but you need to stop what you're doing right now. Turn over your badge, put it down. God will forgive you. Do what's right. Follow your heart. Follow your heart.
If I set the scene for you, this is a bridge. So as most people know, with a bridge, you can only go either forwards or backwards, usually on a bridge. You can't go off to the side because it's over something and there's no way to go off the edge of it. Well, when you blockade the front of it, what you create is a box full of people. And what was happening that night was this box full of people that were in the dark were being bombarded with tear gas. Now, from my knowledge of tear gas, the idea of tear gas is for dispersement. So in order to disperse people, people need somewhere to go. If you have people in a box and you're firing multiple rounds of tear gas into a box and people can't go forwards, they can't go left and they can't go right, and they're in a crowd of people, they have two options. Option one is panic and trample each other to try and escape the box the only way they can, going backwards. Option two is to stand there and inhale clouds of tear gas. And that's what happened.
shit again.
Oh, fuck.
Somebody put that out! Somebody put that out!
We fired some serious shit here, people. Basically, it's a bit of a war zone down here. They've been shooting rubber bullets and tear gas in the distance. You might see that. Not pretty. It's not pretty at all here. I'm gonna try to. It's more tear gas, people. They're running to try to throw it in the water. Trying to keep a safe distance from the smoke at this point. I've just had too much in there.
Come on, we're taking E48s.
What happened, man?
We got the car right up here, bro.
Alex, bro.
What's the issue?
You guys don't understand this. We're all armed out here. Every one of us.
You're armed, so?
We're not on.
I can't even get to my fucking house, you stupid moron.
Bringing in the border patrol now to get rid of people. The bird? Thanks, buddy.
You guys fell. What's that? It's kind of funny.
You laugh if they fell?
Yeah.
Go home? What? Why? Where?
The reason I'm stopping today is because you're holding out your electronic device while you're driving. You can't do that.
I was arrested. 3 officers tried to hold me down to arrest me. They broke my back rib with their knee. They seem to have no remorse for what they did.
It is a $100 citation. Okay, take care of it by the 8th of December.
I have a bruise right here too.
Oh my God!
She lost her arm.
Was that from a rubber bullet?
I wish I could have seen a live feed from the very first second through it all.
It's
I saw
posted
I saw a lot of clips, but you and I both know that if I took a 5-minute video of you, I could make you sound like a hero or make you sound like Satan.
She goes by Susie. Her first name is Vanessa. She has a detached retina, and she's waited over 72 hours for an actual specialist to get in there surgically, which she had done this morning. They say that they're hopeful that they can reattach. However, there's old blood. That could be an infection, and that would impede, because when you reattach a retina, it's very delicate surgery.
I'm a Kichita. I'm a warrior. Ochechi Shikoi. Kichita is the Ochechi Shikoi security warrior team. We're frontliners. I'm also dispatched though. Like, I'm not the one that's just gonna be standing on the front lines.
So can you describe actually in detail when it hit you? What are the events leading up to that?
As they were pulling the second truck away, a woman yelled for help. So I go to reach to help for her, and I hear the cannons go off. So as I go to reach to help for her, she's pretty far away, maybe 6 feet away. I hear the cannons go off, and so I look up, which is wrong. I should never look up. When you hear the cannons go off, you're supposed to tuck down because you don't know where they're going. But I was so close to the front lines, maybe 15 feet in front of this cannon. I figured this was gonna go over my head, shoot 50, 100 feet. No, it didn't. I took 5 or 6, I'm not too sure how many, in my what I remember, on flames towards my head when I took that one.
It's a flaming can.
Yeah, there was like 5 or 6 of those little tear gas cans. I turned around and they shot me with a rubber bullet in the back of my leg, my upper buttock, my upper thigh, my lower, yeah, they shot me right here. As I turned around to run, they shot me here with a rubber bullet after I already took the tear gas canister to my face, which they purposely aimed towards me. We have witnesses to this. And to lose my vision, but I wouldn't change the past. I wouldn't change the past for anything. Everything's meant to be. Everything happens for a reason, and
This is the battle of the century. This is the battle royale. This is a peaceful, non-violent struggle against the murder of the earth by the corporations.
So basically the cops are putting up barbed wire around Turtle Island now. See all the way down and across. Boats have been blocked in.
My name is Dallas Goldtooth. I'm an organizer of the Indigenous Environmental Network, and we have a press conference here And this is a press conference with a number of statements provided by a number of our leaders of the camps, of groups, organizations, and tribes that are involved in the Oceti Sakowin camp, in the Sacred Stone camp, here on the frontline fight against Dakota Access Pipeline.
The governor of North Dakota has no jurisdiction in treaty territory, and that we feel that no matter what his position is, he is in a conflict of interest. He has interest in the railroad claims that we have, that we'd like to get to federal court with. He has oil development and wells in the Bakken, and so we would kindly ask the governor to remove himself as a spokesperson, maybe giving up his seat early. But we are proceeding with, the tribe has hired a former federal investigator to work for the tribe, specifically in pursuing charges at many different levels.
The governor acted on what the administration gave him the right to do, right? So the administration said that they were going to subject us to local law enforcement despite the increased violence on behalf of North Dakota over the past few months, which has gotten to the point now that they're actually trying to kill people. They're using water hoses on people in below freezing temperatures. They almost took a girl's arm off with the concussion grenades they're throwing at us. And the response of the administration was to say that we will be treated as trespassers on treaty lands. Indigenous peoples will be treated as trespassers on indigenous lands. We shouldn't be having the conversation of violating treaty rights and treating us as less than, throwing our people in dog kennels and strip searching them and violating their human rights. That should not be happening, but it is. So enough is enough, and we're standing together with thousands of allies and supporters from around the world. Millions of people are following the fight at Standing Rock. They are standing with Standing Rock, and our fight will continue. And I mean, I think, you know, this violence is because they're afraid. They're afraid of the power there is in prayer. They're afraid of the love we have in our hearts for the people and for the future generations. How we wish.
It is so transparently clear that they're doing it to protect the pipeline at the cost of potential violation of human rights. It's very, very apparent that water security is being violated. Water meaning not only us, but the 17 million people downstream who have become our allies.
The international community understands exactly what has happened to us and our lands. Under the current status, we are considered immigrants in our own lands, being controlled by immigrants of other countries. If our people and our leaders understand this and realize that the correct path to true sovereignty is here, then we must now begin to become what our Dakota name means, allies. So true sovereignty is here. The Treaty of 51 runs up to the Heart River. And everything that has happened between the start of this and now has been illegal. And because I exist and several others of us, who I will not relinquish the names of those people, because we exist, treaty enforcement is here.
They're coming to get your wounded! They're coming to get your wounded! They're coming to get your dead! They're coming to get your dead! Airborne Ranger! Hear the mortars dropping! Hear the mortars dropping! They're dropping on our heads! They're dropping on our heads! The sergeant says I'm okay! The sergeant says I'm okay! But I know that we're dead!
That abomination on the Hill was declared illegal already by the Obama administration and the Corps of Engineers. And yet, this company, this corporation, which is determined to violate that agreement, has decided it's worth them to pay the fine. And our question to the federal government is, where the fuck are you? Because we're here. And the indigenous people have been praying for months for the white father to fucking come. We want you to come now. Now's the time.
So
veterans are here now, and all the flags are gathered around, and everyone is in song and in prayer.
We own it, let's say Yahoo, Yahoo, Ni ma jewa, Ni ma jewa, oh Ni mia. We own it, let's say Yahoo, Yahoo.
It was just announced earlier today that Energy Transfer Partners is going to go underneath Lake Oahe, and this is in defiance of the Army Corps of Engineers making the statement yesterday that they are denying the easement. So a lot of people here at camp are celebrating. They're happy. There were fireworks last night. Archambault, the chairman, said yesterday that we can now all go home to our families. That's not true. We cannot go home to our families because the pipeline is not stopped. They're still planning to go underneath the lake in defiance of Army Corps of Engineers.
Why is Standing Rock important? Why are you here?
Standing Rock's important to me because it's about protecting people's rights, right to protest, right of free assembly, right to practice their religion, as well as respecting the Constitution when it comes to sovereignty. We signed treaties with these people, and we've broken every treaty we've ever signed with Native Americans. Every single treaty. You know how many they've broken with us? 0.
Trying to stop it.
Thanks, well.
Thank you so much.
A lot more vets are worried about them than the Army Corps. But you'll get them at the ceremony. We're getting ready to take care of
100% nonviolent.
Very cool.
I believe this is a very important movement. What is being done here is so unjust to the Native American community here, who is really standing up for the simple right to make sure that 18 million people still have clean water, because this oil pipe that they're building could erupt and it could contaminate all of the drinking water of the Missouri River.
America has to secede by 2018.
Why 2018?
Because that's the 150th anniversary of the 1868 treaty.
Yeah.
And it has been broken.
Yeah.
And so it goes back to its original status.
We got to stand for water. We got to continue to stand for water. Wherever you are, stand up for your water.
To the Martin County Police Sheriff's Department right now, I would probably, I'm going to tear up now. I would tell them that we forgive them and that we know a lot of them are just acting out of trying to keep their job. But they've done damage that can't be repaired. I'll invite them to come to Standing Rock and come see what we're doing there, and maybe join the other side. I would invite them to talk to the people that they injured, people who were praying, and people who were sitting peacefully. Yeah, I would just invite them to come see what we're all about, and maybe ask them to take a hard look in the mirror and try to remember that regardless of what they're told, we're still people.
By being able to go there and be the media, being able to go there and tell the story, you have the ability to make changes in the world. And maybe people will look at you as a hero. Maybe people will look at you as though you've done something amazing. And all you've done is stood there with a phone and become the media, because we know where the media come from. We know the media are paid by the same people who own the oil companies, by the same people who lobby the government. So there's this whole circle of everyone who's intertwined that are showing the story and pushing the narrative out there. So the only way we can change that narrative is by putting the story out ourselves from an honest, truthful perspective and just showing it. And live stream gives us that ability. So I encourage everyone out there, when you see something happening, pick up your phone, start live streaming. It's easy. You can just go onto Facebook and literally hit live stream, hit go live, and it goes.